In this series of videos, we are looking at taking a worded problem and setting up an equation which we can then solve. Let's get straight into this one. A sequence goes up in steps of 6. The 8th term in the sequence is 4 times the first term. What is the 3rd term of the sequence? That's part A. Let's focus on that first. Now, as things stand, I don't know what any of the terms of the sequence are. So what I'm going to do is represent the first 8 terms using blank spaces. I'm going to call the first term of the sequence x. We know the sequence goes up in steps of 6. So to go from one term to the next, we just need to add 6. If we do that here, we get that this term is x plus 6. And if we do that again, if we add 6 to go from the second to the third term, we find that the third term is x plus 12. The next one will be x plus 18, and so on. Now we can use this next bit of information. The 8th term in the sequence is 4 times the first term. That means the 8th term, x plus 42, is 4 times the first term. 4 times x is just 4x. Now that's an equation we can solve. If I subtract x from the left-hand side and the right-hand side, I get 42 equals 3x. And if I now divide both sides of this by 3, I get x on the right, and that equals 14. Now, we weren't looking for x, we were looking for the 3rd term, which happens to be x plus 12. So if x is 14, the 3rd term here is going to be 14 plus 12, which is 26. Before we move on to part B, notice that there is a little bit of a shortcut you could have taken. You didn't have to list out all of the terms in here. You could have spotted that the 8th term would be the first term plus 7 lots of 6, because it's 7 terms further along. So you could just add 7 lots of 6, which is 42, onto the first term. So you wouldn't have had to have really listed out all of these in between. Okay, let's move on to part B. We need to find the nth term of the sequence. Now I'm going to start by writing the first few terms of the sequence. We already know that the 3rd term is 26, and we know that the sequence is going up in steps of 6. So the one before 26 would be 20, and the one before that would be 14, and the one after that would be 32. That's enough. In fact, that's more than enough. Now, this sequence is going up in steps of 6, so it's like the 6 times table, which means it's going to be of the form 6n plus or minus something. Now we can just compare this sequence here with the 6 times table. And here's what we find. We've got 6, 12, 18, 24. And hopefully you can see that what we're doing to the 6 times table to turn it into this sequence is adding 8. So the nth term of the sequence is simply 6n plus 8.